Hello, I am Kathy Terry with the Regional Education Laboratory Southwest at the American Institutes for Research. Today I will be sharing with you understanding and applying the evidence base for strategic school actions. This is an introduction to a video series related to the research connected to strategic school actions. RAIL Southwest is part of a network of 10 regional educational laboratories funded by the Institute of Education Sciences at the U.S. Department of Education. By law, RAILs are charged with three main activities: conducting applied research, providing coaching, training, and technical support for the application of research to educational issues, policies, and practices, as well as disseminating credible, up-to-date research. The long-term mission of the RAILs is to meaningfully improve outcomes for learners. How do RAILs do this? By in-depth need sensing with SEAs and LEAs to identify high-leverage problems. We also facilitate partnerships to address these high-leverage problems. We support our partners through co-developing applied research and implementing evidence-based practices in the short term for the purpose of addressing these problems. And we're also informing and improving education policy or practice in the medium term. One particular research partnership that has been developed is the Southwest School Improvement Research Partnership. This is a partnership between the RAIL Southwest and the Texas Education Agency, known as TEA. TEA and the RAIL Southwest developed this partnership in order to look at evidence-based practices and relevant research related to school improvement that could be applied in the school improvement efforts in Texas. TEA created 4 bold strategies that Texas districts can use in order to meet the needs of their students within their communities. These 4 strategic school actions are: create a new school, they may redesign a school, they can restart a struggling school, or school districts may decide to reassign students to a higher performing school. These strategic school actions are based on evidence practices and relevant research. What TEA and RAIL Southwest Partnership decided to do was to review the research, and the video series that follows gives a picture of that research by school action. Research articles were included in the video series if they were published within the last 20 years. They were actually found using the databases ERIC, PsycInfo, and the Academic Search Premier. They also had to be publicly available for all audiences. Some of the key search terms that were used to find the articles were school turnaround, restart, closure, restructuring, and takeover. And 9 studies will actually be discussed in the videos related to the strategic school actions. When studying the articles and selecting the articles, we had 4 considerations. One was the intervention. What was the intervention model or reform implemented? What were those components and how did it relate to the 4 school actions? We considered the setting and the context of the study. What types of schools and students were included in the research? We also considered the study design. What methods were used to study the intervention or program? Was it a well-designed research study? And we also summarized the findings. What outcomes were reported by the author? Also, what are the limitations and implications that the author may describe in the study? In addition to the summaries that you will find in the research videos related to school action, we have also created the School Actions Research Resource Document. In this document, you will actually be able to filter by school action, and the document includes summaries of the intervention, the setting and the context of the study design, as well as a summary of the findings based on the author. In this particular research document, you will also have a URL link that you can have access to the article. Here is a snapshot of the resource document. Again, it will include all 9 articles, as well as information about those articles, as well as the summary information that will be included in the videos, and you will be able to filter by strategic school action. If you have any questions about the video series or the research related to school actions, please reach out to me, Kathy Terry. Thank you.